Research from the University of California found that knowledge workers switch between tools and apps over 300 times per day. 300 times. And here's what's crazy. Most of that chaos starts because we don't even agree on what a node actually is. If you ever felt overwhelmed by all your scattered nodes across different apps, stick with me. I've struggled with this for years in my corporate career before discovering what I'm about to share. Alright, picture this. You're in a client meeting. Someone says something crucial. You jot it down in your meeting notes app. Later that day, you're reading an article online and capture a key insight. But wait, should that go in the same place or your meeting notes? Probably not. So you use a different tool. During a brainstorming session, you sketch out an idea on your tablet. Then your colleague sends you a voice message with important project updates. You save that somewhere. Now here's the question. Are all of these the same thing? Most people treat them completely differently, using different tools, different approaches, different systems. And that's exactly where the chaos begins. You end up with nodes everywhere. And when you need something, you can't remember where you put it or how you capture it. But here's the thing. This isn't just about organization. The average professional spends 2.5 hours per day just searching for information they know they have somewhere. That's over 12 hours per week. Think about that for a second. And here's what actually happens in your brain. Every time you switch context between different note-taking tools, from your meeting app to your voice memos to your sketch pad, your brain has to reload the rules for that system. Cognitive psychologists call this context switching costs. And it can reduce your productivity by up to 40%. But the real cost isn't just time or productivity. It's trust. When your system is chaotic, your brain stops trusting it. And when your brain doesn't trust your system, it keeps everything in working memory instead. Which is why you lie awake at 2 a.m. thinking about that thing you need to remember tomorrow. So why does this confusion exist in the first place? Here's why this happens. In ICOR, nodes exist at the very beginning of your productivity system. They are the entry point, the first stage where information from both your outer world and your inner world enters your system. I made another video about outer and inner world, but here's the critical part that most productivity systems completely miss. Nodes aren't just containers for information, they're also containers for action. This is the dual foundation principle of ICOR, information and action, not information alone, and this compounds over time. Every day, you're capturing dozens of nodes. Some are pure information, facts, data, insights you need to remember. Others are action items, tasks, deadlines, commitments you need to execute. When you treat both types the same way, you create what system thinkers call category confusion. It's like trying to use the same filing system for your tax documents and your family photos. They're both important, but they serve completely different purposes and need different workflows. The issue isn't that you're taking too many notes. The issue is that you're treating different types of nodes as if they're the same thing. And here's what makes this worse. This confusion doesn't just affect your nodes. It cascades through your entire productivity system. Because if you can't distinguish between information nodes and action nodes at the input stage, you'll never be able to control them effectively, output them strategically, or refine them systematically. Understanding this distinction is what separates professionals who simply collect information from those who transform it into results. So here's the solution that changes everything. Within the context of ICOR, and for busy professionals like you, here's our precise definition. A node is a written record that captures important information, decisions, insights, or action items from various business-related activities. Let me break this down because every word matters. First, implement what we call the expanded format rule. In a digital era, written record isn't limited to text. Your notes can include text and formatted documents, images, screenshots, audio recordings and voice notes, video clips, sketches and diagrams. Any content that can be digitally stored. This eliminates the confusion of, should I save this differently because it's a voice note? No, it's all a note. Same system, same rules. Second, implement the 4 elements framework. What does a node capture? 4 critical elements: information, facts, data, details you need to remember, decisions, conclusions reached, choices made, insights, understanding, connections, realizations, and action items, tasks, next steps, commitments. This is the dual foundation principle in action. Every node you take serves one of 2 purposes. It's either information you need to store or action you need to execute. Sometimes it's both. You're the creator, the author. Why does this distinction matter? Because it influences the workflows and tools you choose when you implement this. You stop tool hopping between different apps for different node types. Your brain starts trusting your system because it's consistent. And you capture with purpose instead of just documenting everything randomly. So here's what you do starting this week. Stop treating voice nodes, meeting nodes, and research nodes as completely different things. Start identifying whether each node contains information, action, or both. If you want to build your productivity system end-to-end, grab our free ICOR Journey Starter Kit below. You get a 120-page PDF playbook, an 11-lesson course, magic slides and growth assignments, everything you need to get started completely free. Now, if you want to see how to actually organize all these nodes once you've captured them, check out this video next. I'll show you the core utility distinctions that determines which nodes belong in permanent storage versus temporary processing.